Find other great podcasts like this one at podmoth.network.
Welcome to Cruelty Podcast. This is Lillian, and this is a patron Cruelty Party exclusive episode.
For loyal tea bags.
Yeah, with Merris this time.
Hello.
Hi, because this is a spooky episode.
Yeah.
It's creepy.
Finally.
Gosh, Merris.
We needed some spooky Mondays.
We did, because, hey, this isn't a Merris Monday.
Oh, well, whatever. I don't talk about
Merris
crime.
doesn't know where he is or what day it is.
No, I don't.
No. So, basically, you might have noticed, where have the Patreon-only episodes been? Well, we've been dying.
We're much better now.
We're much better now, and so prepare to have like 3 at once.
We don't have to get in the cart.
No, bring out your dead cart.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're better.
Yeah.
In fact, this is the best I've felt in almost a month because we were sick forever.
I'm a couple days behind you.
Yeah, you're still kind of drag-assy.
Yeah.
And we had the vid.
Yeah.
The Rona. Again. Bullshit.
I mean, we only had it like once.
No, we
in the very
didn't.
beginning.
We had it. This is our third time.
Okay.
We had it when it first came out. Mm-hmm. Then we got it.
I don't feel like I got it again.
You did.
Okay.
It was like back in the summer. But we weren't very sick. We had just been boosted.
Right.
So it was like a week we were sick, maybe. Mm-hmm. Like in August.
Yeah.
And then it just, boy, howdy.
This is the Omicron.
And it really fucked us up.
Yeah.
It's the sickest I've ever been in my life.
We're okay.
Yeah, we're fine. So I'm going to start this with a quote.
Okay.
Human beings aren't meant to survive at the cruising altitude of a 747.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
And I think that quote sums up today's episode. We're going to talk about the ghosts and weird shit of Mount Everest.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. We'll have several terrifying stories of strange sightings, entities, UFOs, dead climbers begging for food, and that sort of thing. And shadow beings, but first, we kind of have to figure out why is it such a weird place? Why is it so haunted?
Well,
Save your theory.
Okay.
Because I'm going to ask for it in a second.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It could be, because it's so full of fucking corpses that can't be retrieved, that there's a spot called the Rainbow Valley. And that's because of all the climbing suits of dead climbers, litter this valley.
Oh, that's terrible.
Oh, yeah. And these are people, well, we'll get into it in a second. So hundreds of people have died trying to summit Mount Everest, 310 to be precise.
Okay.
And that's
that
what's officially recorded. People have been trying to climb this shit since it's been around.
It's been around a while, yeah. I was about
65 million years.
Yeah, so that's a lot of people that could go up it.
Well, we haven't been around that long. People.
Right.
And so it's likely more than that. And because of the harsh and punishing conditions, most of those bodies can't be retrieved, and they just, they stay there.
Ooh.
Of those 310, at least 200 or more remain. And that's a lot. It's a lot.
So they only got down 100 because I'm bad at math?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, some of them, they just drug them with them.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you do try to save your buddy if you can.
Yeah, and there's lots of stories. I'm not going to get into tons of these stories because they're all really sad and terrible, and that's not what this episode is about.
And I'm pretty sure I know the story. They were trying to go up it, but it didn't work out.
Actually, most people die on the descent from the summit.
Oh, they need to get one of those little pods that'll
zoom them down. One guy successfully snowboarded down Mount Everest.
Wow.
Yes, but he tried to go a more difficult way, and it didn't make it.
He didn't make it down?
He made it down once, but then he went back up to try to go down the harder way and did not make it.
Oh, Guy, you should have cut your losses.
Right? Fuck. So when Mount Everest takes a life, it keeps it, especially if someone dies in the death zone. It can take...
You call it that?
I didn't invent the term, and we'll talk about the death zone in a minute.
Okay.
It can take a team of 6 to 8 people risking their lives to retrieve a body, and costs can go up to $80,000.
Yeah, because it got a helicopter it in. And...
No, helicopters can't go that high.
Oh.
So that's pretty insane. So it makes sense if people just fucking can't.
Yeah.
And you're stuck there. So their loved one remains there, frozen and kind of mummified, pretty much. Now, the death zone is everything above 26,247 feet.
Okay, that's pretty high up.
Yep. Every moment spent in the death zone, the human body is dying. 50% of deaths happen in the death zone after people have reached the summit. Pressure is intense. Oxygen is low.
Yeah.
One climber described it like running on a treadmill while trying to breathe through a straw.
I can't imagine. I got the vid and I can't
imagine.
I can't barely like...
My lazy ass couldn't even like make a painting.
It's hard to go outside.
Yeah.
It's just
like I
over there.
walked to the mailbox, I'm like, I gotta take a nap.
You take Bunny outside to poo and it's just, we're done now.
We're done now. Severe altitude sickness, stroke, cerebral edema, and heart attack can occur.
No thanks.
Also, judgment is impaired. What happens is something called summit fever.
When you make stupid decisions.
Well, people are so intense about getting to the summit that they're like frostbitten hands and legs off, and they keep going. Yeah, it's really crazy.
There's nothing up there. There's not like a treasure box or nothing.
No, there's actually, it's just kind of a littered mess, but we'll talk about that in a second. Sometimes, to be respectful, bodies are shoved off the sides of cliffs, covered in rocks and snow, but some climbers actually wish to be visible to other climbers as a sort of memorial.
You put, like, your mom's note pinned to your jacket.
Jesus. I guess they talk about that before they attempt the climb. I mean,
you do have to say, well, if I die, and then you blah, blah, blah.
So we're going to talk about a few of the more famous corpses up on Everest.
And it's not even like the hardest mountain, from my understanding. Or the highest.
It's the highest.
Oh, but like the most difficult, like aren't the more difficult ones?
K2 is pretty hard.
Okay,
it's the second highest. Yeah. But no, it's fucked up. It's really difficult.
A long time ago, I had a dream where I climbed Mount Kilimanjaro. I don't know why that one, but I had a dream about it once.
Well, you're not doing that.
No, I actually would never do that.
No. So Green Boots is probably the most famous corpse up on Mount Everest. Mm-hmm. All right, y'all, there's some names here I'm going to try and pronounce. I apologize in advance. I'm going to butcher them. He is believed to be climber Sawang Paljor from Indian. Mm-hmm. He's called Green Boots because of the neon green climbing boots.
Yeah, it's hard to say it in English.
And his name's hard to say, which makes his body readily visible. I say believed because this body remains unidentified. He died with 7 other climbers in 1996 during a terrible blizzard. However, what?
Oh, it was during the blizzard came in when they were climbing. They didn't start off in a blizzard.
No.
I was like, why would you do that?
Why are you are being dumb as a box of rocks today.
Sorry about it.
It's okay. So it could have also been his climbing partner, Lance Nake Dorji Morup. And there are compelling arguments for both, but to this day it remains undecided. So Green Boots was located on the main northeast ridge route for people attempting to summit Mount Everest. He was in a limestone alcove at about 27,900 feet until his body was either moved or removed in 2014. His current location and identity remain unknown, and it's kind of believed he may still be there, but was covered up with snow and rocks out of respect.
Right.
But there's another body in the same location, and his name is David Sharp. He stopped to rest in the limestone alcove, which is kind of common for people to summit. They stop right there to rest.
Yeah, it sounds nice.
And he was never able to get up again, and he remains there to this day. He's not as visible, and he's kind of like curled up, and it looks like just a dude sitting there. But he's been dead for a long time.
Terrible as a ghost being stuck up there. I mean, I know we're going to get to the spooky bits.
We will, and it's so fucked up.
Oh, my God.
It's some of the creepiest, weirdest shit I've ever heard.
I'm so here for it.
Yeah, I know you are. So he died in 2006 after climbing alone without proper supplies or a Sherpa or an oxygen tank.
Okay.
Which, duh. Fucking God.
Yeah, you're not going to do well. You need to have all the gear use the science that is available.
Yeah, the big deal about David Sharp is that over 40 people passed him on their way to the summit. Mm-hmm. And so people are like, why didn't you help him? Here's what no one understands about the death zone. You can barely help yourself, let alone anyone else, and people did stop.
He just ran out of oxygen, huh?
He did. And he froze to death. So they tried to give him oxygen. They tried to get him up and moving.
He's long gone now, okay, guys?
Not now, but at the fucking time.
Yeah, okay.
Jesus Christ.
Didn't somebody, I read about this on like Vice or something, some lady climbed Everest in a bikini?
Yeah.
Oh, that was a thing?
Yeah, it's stupid.
Did she make it?
Yeah, I think so. There was people who climbed in bikinis, naked, in just shorts. It's dumb.
Yeah.
It's hard enough. Stop it.
It's hard enough. You don't need to make it extra hard.
You don't need to snowboard down. You don't need to get married up there. People have done all that shit.
Yeah.
Somebody tried to bring a dog up there.
Oh, poor dog.
He made it to base camp 1, but they didn't push him any further, which is fine. But, Jesus. Anyway, his body is no longer there either. Mm-hmm. I said he was, but I was mistaken. Sorry about that. Mm-hmm. It's confusing because all of the famous bodies have kind of been moved or covered up.
Well, avalanches and stuff.
It was a big avalanche, I think in the mid-2000s, like a few years back, in 2018, and it killed the shit out of a lot of people, like 9 people. But here's a really fun one. George Mallory, one of the first people to attempt to summit, who went missing in 1924, his body was found in 1999.
Wow.
Perfectly preserved, pretty much. He was face down, and his back is exposed. And climbers see that one all the time.
Yeah, even in Skyrim, you just ride a horse up it.
That's not how that works in real life.
Oh.
Sleeping Beauty is another famous climber. This is the body of Frances Arsentiev, the first woman to summit Everest without oxygen.
Jeez.
She died on the descent in May of 1998. She was able to be seen by climbers until May of 2007 when her body was dropped into a crevasse to protect her dignity. Mm-hmm. I don't know. You can look at me. It's fine. I'm dead.
It doesn't matter now.
Yeah. They dropped her into a crevasse.
Okay.
I'm going to post pictures of all of this, like the Rainbow Valley, so you guys can see what these people are like. I don't know if I went somewhere and they're like, here's all the bodies of everyone who tried before
Here's
you.
a valley of corpses.
I'd be like, fuck this. I got to go home. I'm just not about it.
No.
Hannelore Schmatz is still on Everest and can be seen by climbers. Like I said, I could go on, and this could be a whole episode. Needless to say, climbing Everest is dangerous as fuck, and just don't.
Don't do it.
Nothing up there.
I guess they got like a weird calling. I don't know.
A lot of people will say that.
Okay, let's talk about weird stuff.
Okay, we're going to get into the weird stuff now. Let's talk about the weird, supernatural, and creepy stories from Mount Everest.
Because if reincarnation's a thing, maybe like you just have this personality that needs to go up mountains. I don't know.
Oh my God. Like, so you die up there and you're like, I gotta go. What if you're just dying up there?
I gotta do it again.
And over? That's fucked up. So it's not just that people died up there. I think that Everest is weird in general. And you have a theory about spaces that remain largely empty. Talk about it.
Okay. Well, they talk about that one ranch in Utah, and it's
the Sherman Ranch.
It's just a lot of flat nowhere. No, it's not the only one. There's like Death
Stardust
Valley.
Ranch.
And
the high desert,
Whenever there's just no observers to make reality occur, I think that then the veil is sort of thin, and other personalities that are disembodied can kind of come through. I also think that mountains are sort of special and maybe have their own personality to them.
Definitely.
And to make yourself more powerful, you need sacrifices, right?
People used to sacrifice things to the mountain.
To volcanoes, all kind of things.
Well, the Sherpas believe that it's the realm of the gods up there.
Right. Well, then the mountain need bodies, and the mountain needs to be stopped.
The mountain needs to be stopped. The Sherpas do like a bunch of rituals and stuff ahead of time. And they get really annoyed at the industrialization and like commercialization of Everest because they ignore the rituals. And
well, then you're going to piss off the mountain and it can eat you.
The first thing I'm going to talk about is the sightings of the Yeti.
Okay.
Because I put that in there just for you.
Yeah. That's a snowy Bigfoot.
It is a snowy Bigfoot. As you all know, Merris is a Bigfoot enthusiast for some fucking reason.
That's true. Yeah.
Actually, Teabag, Ness, Nora sent Merris a really funny Bigfoot mug. I'll put the picture of that too.
I was gonna take a picture of my mug with the mug, but I've been shy and my beard.
Oh, I'm gonna make you do it.
My beard is undyed.
Oh, it'll be fine. I'll Photoshop your beard.
Okay.
But it says breaking hearts, stealing hearts and
ripping farts.
Ripping farts, yes.
And it's a Bigfoot farting on the mug.
Yeah, it's really good.
I think it's excellent.
Yeah. I'm not a fan, as you guys have heard me say before.
Because he's not sexy.
Not in any way. Stinky.
Yeah, hairy.
I don't like any of that.
No.
But there have been tons of sightings throughout all of history of Bigfoot on Mount Everest.
I'm here for it. There are big feet up there.
This is the lower altitudes. He's not like on the summit because Bigfoot knows better.
Yeah,
apparently.
he doesn't go to Death Valley.
No, it's the death zone.
Yeah, that's not a good sign.
No. So Joshua Gates of the show Destination Truth took samples of some hair found there in 2009, and the results were unknown DNA sequences.
Doo-doo-doo.
I think that's pretty convincing. By a giant, like, Bigfoot print.
I feel like that they've Bigfoot DNA test a lot throughout history, and it always, like, one person will say one thing and another person will say another thing.
This one has been pretty looked into, and it might be legit. That's what they're saying.
Well, that's fine. That's cool.
Yeah. Now, I will tell you guys this, of course, because you're in a situation where your body's under a lot of stress and you're kind of dying. Of course, people could be hallucinating, but we here at Cruelty, me and Merris, we just choose to believe weird shit because it's fun.
Why not? Yeah. I think that the world is consciousness, and consciousness is weird. It always comes up with weird stuff, like climbing Mount Kilimanjaro. But
for no reason, yeah.
I've never been to Africa.
That reminds me of that song by
The Rains Down in Africa?
Yeah, you'll bless the rains down in Africa. So now we're going to talk about record-holding Sherpa Pemba Dorji. In 2004, he supposedly summited Mount Everest in like 8 hours, which is like ridiculous.
That is ridiculous. It's a day.
Now, as he's climbing down,
right,
he stumbled across, of course, many bodies of dead climbers, and as he's kind of paying his respect, he looks up and he sees these shadowy beings like darting around all
Oh no, that's fucked up.
And then they flew at him.
Oh no,
with their hands outstretched.
Fuck that. Oh my god.
Mouths gaping open.
No, I'm scared.
And when they got up to him, they were begging him for something to eat.
No, you say no to that.
He said he hightailed it the fuck on out of there.
That's crazy. That's like Harry Potter things.
The Dementors?
Yeah.
Yeah. He believes that ghosts can't find rest until after their bodies are removed from the mountain. And given how impossible a task that is, then Everest is just fucking loaded with ghosts for all space and time.
Don't go there.
Oh, no, I agree.
Someone should arrest this mountain.
In 1975, two men, Dougal Haston and Doug Scott, had just made the summit. Unfortunately, they got summit fever. Now, that is a phenomenon that happens when people will do anything, even fatal things, to reach the summit. And what they did was they stayed too late. And as a result, like as soon as it gets a certain time of day, you can't go down because it's getting dark.
Okay.
And you can't fucking see, and the temperature drops dramatically. You'll die.
Yeah.
So they had to dig a snow hole. And which is where you dig a hole.
A hole, yeah.
In the snow, and it's a snow hole.
Yeah.
And you climb in there for warmth. Because it insulates you.
Right.
So then they ran out of oxygen.
Oh, balls.
And they had a little bit of butane to heat up some food, but they were using it to keep warm.
Okay.
They ran out of that. And they were just pretty sure they were going to die.
Yeah, right.
Then a third person got in their snow hole.
No.
Did not speak. Just huddled around them and held them.
Ooh, that's spooky.
And when morning came, they were gone. The person never said a word. And those two men swear that it happened.
Oh, no.
And that it saved their lives.
I got chills. Isn't that one
terrible?
Yeah, that one's awful. I hate that story.
Oh, Get out of my snow hole.
I got hugged by a ghost.
But that saved their life.
Like in the movie Ghost.
Didn't she fuck the ghost in the movie Ghost?
I don't know.
I don't remember. We watched it, and I just don't remember that movie.
We can watch it again, I guess.
I don't want to.
Okay.
Feel it was stupid.
Yeah.
My favorite part of the movie is you in danger, girl. And I say that all the time.
You do, yeah.
Yeah, because it just made me die. That was funny. Okay, so this is my favorite story because it's so fucking weird.
I'm bracing myself because it's been a good story hour.
I know. It gave me the willies, and I thought we needed that.
Okay, yeah.
It's Halloween time.
It is, yes.
The best time of the year.
Right, it's true.
When we're always too poor to do anything. Anyway, in 1993, Frank Smith, excuse me, it was 1933. I'm stupid. I just wrote it wrong. Frank Smith was attempting to summit Mount Everest, and he saw some weird-ass shit.
Oh, boy. 1933, you said?
Yeah.
That's a long time ago. That's old-timey climbing.
Yeah, old-timey climbing. As he's approaching the summit, which he didn't make it to, he saw two objects, both resembling balloons.
Uh-oh.
But you can't have a balloon up that high. It just doesn't go that high.
No, they don't go that high.
And when he looked at them, they started changing their shape.
This is a UFO.
No.
It's a Bigfoot?
No, it's weird. One of them remained blobular and just sort of pulsated slowly.
Okay.
And he said, like, slower than the beat of my heart. And then the other one was like blobbing around, and it got a stunted beak and little stubby wings, like it was trying to be a bird.
Birds aren't real.
Birds are real.
Okay.
And he said it looked like nothing he'd ever seen. He couldn't scarcely describe it, but then it had contained some sort of horrible facsimile of life.
That's weird.
In addition, so as he's climbing down after an unsuccessful attempt at summiting, he's not feeling good.
No, you seeing stuff.
And somebody is following him, and they're not saying anything.
No, that's spooky.
Yes, it gets weirder. And so he's kind of like bolstered by this presence, though. He's like, I can make it. And he just got the overwhelming sense that the thing, he didn't say person, but thing was hungry.
Oh, no.
So he reached into his pack and he had some like mint cake, some kind of British
Here's a kudos.
cake. And he was like, he gave it to him and he said it kind of...
So he was near enough to give it to a thing?
It was right behind him the whole time.
Oh, no.
Once he made it out of the death zone, though, it disappeared.
Well, you gave it your granola bar, so...
It was like, thanks. Poof.
Yeah, oh, no, that's fucked up.
I know it's fucked up. Here's another really strange story.
Oh, good.
I don't know if it's supernatural or not, but it's just fucking weird.
Okay.
So there's the matter of the 4 corpses found in a tent at Base Camp 4, and some Sherpas had come across these bodies in a tent, because usually tents will be like taken down or just left as trash, and they saw a tent standing, and so they went to look in it to see if they could scavenge some supplies out of it.
That's
and they
always
found
scary.
4 dead bodies in their sleeping bags. Assumed they died of altitude sickness or just
regular sickness. Oh, no.
And this is May of 2017.
Okay.
So they radioed down to the base camp. And they're like, hey, we got 4 bodies here. Is anybody missing anybody out of their expedition? Nobody was. So then they radioed down to like the base of the mountain. They called around everywhere.
Yeah.
Nobody was missing anyone.
Now, I do know from watching TV that you can summit Everett either from the Nepalese side,
Yes.
or from India.
Yes.
Okay, and most people go through Nepal.
Most people.
Okay,
It's cheaper.
yeah.
But they called everywhere, including any place you could summit. All the like expedition companies, all the Sherpa camps. Nobody.
Yeah.
They've gone back 3 years and they cannot find who these 4 missing people are. They are unidentified.
What if they just said fuck it and they just sort of went rogue and...
They may have, but like they're not matching up to any missing persons reports. They're just randos with no name. It's just strange. Like they had no name in their belongings.
Yeah.
And it's just a weird thing. So, boy, this one's really creepy.
Okay, yeah.
And I have a kind of similar story from K2. I'll share it, even though it's not about Everest.
Okay.
In 1986, a British woman attempting to summit fell to her death. That's pretty common also. Lots of crevasses. In 1992, Scott Fisher, who's a famous guy who went on Everest, and another man were the only two people on the mountain this day. And so there's a radio system, like radios there, but they're not going to make it, like you have to relay it down because the signal won't totally reach the bottom, etc., etc.
Yeah, okay.
So they're the only ones there.
Yeah.
And the radios go off. Mm-hmm. Calling to base camp 4. Do you read? Over. And it's a British woman's voice.
Uh-huh.
Then when they answered, no one responded. It was a ghost. They said it sounded funny.
Yeah.
Voice sounded funny.
That's fucked up. I hate that. Do you want to tell your ghost story about your dad?
Yes. Okay, so I've told it before on our episode with like phone calls from the dead.
Yeah, and I was there to witness all of it. Like,
so this is so creepy. It almost made me throw up.
Okay.
So my mom dies, and we go and collect her stuff from her apartment, and we took her phone.
And I was working for a cell phone company at the time, and I gave her that phone, so I was really familiar with it, and I was the one who assigned it the phone number.
Yes. And it hadn't been out of service long enough when this happened that the phone number could have been given to anyone else.
No, I know what happens when you disconnect a phone. The phone number goes into like a phone bank for 6 months. That I knew that information from working there.
So no one can use it.
So no one can use that phone number for 6 months.
And I would say this is about a couple months after my mom died.
Yeah, we disconnected her phone.
Well, it disconnected on its own. It was prepaid.
Yeah.
And we had it in a desk drawer because John had lost the SIM card to it because he's always fucking with shit.
But it was a working phone, so we kept it.
Yeah, so we thought maybe if we need a phone, we'll have this one. My dad calls me, and my dad doesn't believe in anything ever. And he's like hysterical. Mm-hmm. And he said that my mother just called him.
From that cell phone.
From that cell phone. It came up on the caller ID, and when he answered, only static answered.
Yep. And so I know where the phone was, and it's been disconnected.
I opened the drawer and looked at it. It was in pieces.
Didn't make a phone call.
No, did not make a phone call.
Yep. So that's fucked up.
That's fucked up. So here's one from K2. So they're a group of women who summited Everest together, right? Mm-hmm. And one of them passes away on K2.
Oh. Where's K2?
It's in China?
Okay.
Somewhere around there. I don't fucking know.
Sorry.
Second tallest mountain in the world.
Okay.
So one of the women, the survivors from this expedition, is at home. Her phone rings, and it's the lady who died.
On the mountain, yeah.
But she thought, well, it's my friend, so she thought surely she's alive. She's like, oh my God, where have you been? We're so worried about you. Mm-hmm. She's like, are you okay? She goes, I'm so cold.
Oh, no.
She's like, I'm freezing. And she said, well, can you come home? And she said, I can't anymore.
Oh, no.
And the line went dead.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Yeah, love it.
I hate that.
Love it. Creepy
So
shit.
never die on a mountain, y'all.
No, don't do it. Okay, so here's something.
Okay.
Many climbers, I mean, we're talking hundreds of people, in the death zone, especially coming down from the summit, report the feeling of a presence if they are struggling.
No,
like someone is walking with them. And there was a report of one guy who was just sure. He could hear the footsteps behind him. He could feel, you could just feel someone's behind you.
Yeah.
And he turned and looked, and he didn't see anyone, but his brain just said there's someone there. And he talked to them the whole way down. And once he was...
The presence talked to him, or he talked to the presence?
No, he talked to the presence.
Okay.
And he felt it was kind and nice and like cheering him on.
Yeah.
And so once he got out of the danger zone, he said the feeling went away.
Wow.
The death zone. Sorry, not the danger zone.
Yeah,
That's a stupid
it's both
song.
the same thing.
Yeah. And so many of them report someone handing them an extra oxygen tank.
Or cuddling with him in a hole.
Or cuddling with him in the snow hole. And the feeling of a presence or someone helping them to their feet but they never speak. Mm-hmm. But the stranger on the mountain who helps them, mm-hmm. when people are asked to describe, like the men who were in the snow hole could not describe the person at all.
Right.
Not male or female. They just said, I don't know. It was just somebody.
Yeah, your brain sort of blocks it out or something.
And that's the part that fucks me up. Mm-hmm. Yeah, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, it hits you in your funny bone.
Sure does. In February of 2018, a UFO was captured flying around the world's tallest mountain. There are often UFO sightings on Everest. So many, I just didn't include them because there's just so many.
And it's always just sort of a weird thing in the sky. It's like the same story.
Yeah, and this thing is like weird shaped. Like
well, that was that guy in the 30s who saw the globular thing.
Yeah, it was kind of globular, and I'll post pictures of it. It's weird looking. It doesn't look like a UFO. It looks like a piece of like a giant trash bag or something. But the thing is people tried to say that's a drone. No drones can go up that high. It was flying over.
You said you can't even helicopter.
Over the mountain. Yeah. It's like, wait, no.
Oh, dogs.
Honey. Sorry about that. Your patrons, I'm not going to cut the dogs out, but we have
Val
them.
was just coming home.
Yeah. Anyway, so UFOs, weird.
Yeah.
And there's pictures of it. And it's not a bird either. There's no birds up there. Because I want to be specific. When I say we're at 27,000 feet, there's no plants.
Yeah.
There's no animals. It is a
so no
dead
scavengers
zone.
Can get at corpses or nothing.
No. Impossible. And so the corpses just stay there. Now, sometimes the elements will blow like the flesh and stuff off the face, but they're largely mummified.
Remove them and
they're largely mummified, and they just stay where they fell.
Right.
And there's so many.
Oh, it's awful.
It is awful. And here's a fun fact to kind of round this off and leave us not afraid. Unless you're afraid of this, there's over 26,000 pounds of human shit left on Everest every year.
Yeah, I think I also remember reading something about Everest has a garbage problem.
It does. They make expeditions to try and get trash because people just literally leave their shit up there. Because the problem is
nothing will biodegrade up there.
Well, no, it's forever preserved because it's arid and cold.
No oxygen carrying stuff
to decompose it, so it just fucking sits there.
Yeah.
And the problem is that like Everest is clogged with people during climbing season now.
I was reading how they go back to back, and I'm like, how is that even like a climbing experience when you're just literally butt to butt with another person up a line, basically?
It's like a queue.
Yeah.
You're just waiting in line at the bank. It's stupid. Only it could kill you.
Pictures and stuff.
There have been people spending too much time at the summit taking pictures, and that's why they die on the way down.
Oh. Yeah, how did that bikini lady do it? That's crazy.
I don't fucking know. I don't even want to talk about her. She makes me mad. This shit's dumb. The mountain's a sacred place.
Yeah, it's just being treated like a tourist trap.
It is. And like seeing the pictures of the trash is really depressing. I'm going to post all these pictures though because it's just interesting to me.
Yeah.
There's a Netflix documentary right now about the avalanche that happened because of the earthquake in Nepal on Everest.
Yeah, we saw that.
That was really good.
It was good, but there are not enough ghosts. I want to hear about them ghosts.
All the stories are the same.
Yeah.
Especially the ones about
with the crazy wraiths though, like so there's not just friendly ghosts.
A lot of people see shadow peoples at night.
No, that's fucked up.
But that's just it. That's the report, is that they see shadowy figures up on the summit while they're lower.
I would just go home. Come on. I'd
be like, this place haunted. It's got ghosts, yetis, too much, like 26,000 pounds of shit, and a bunch of corpses. I gots to go.
This is dumb.
I want to go to fucking Red Lobster instead of Everest. It doesn't have 26,000 pounds of shit.
Right.
I mean, not as much garbage.
I mean, it goes in the turlet.
I probably won't die.
Yeah, well, unless you eat a bad shellfish, but
I doubt it. But I want to get
cheddar biscuits.
Man, they got the Cheddar Bay biscuits.
Yeah.
And they got like the all-you-can-eat Scrampies.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Well,
How
that made
bad?
me think of a sad story. Like
would suck dick for Red Lobster now.
Yeah. I just thought of a sad story about the crabs. There's no snow crabs this year.
Shut up.
Yeah.
We're not. I don't want to hear that the Earth is dying. I want to go to Red Lobster.
Yeah.
I want the Shrimp Fest. I want the margarita the size of a cereal bowl that has little Mardi Gras lobster beads.
Yep.
I want to be a big fat American piece of shit, and I want to eat 20 Cheddar Bay biscuits, and I want to need like CPR after I'm done.
Yeah, but not because you went up a mountain.
Never. I'm never gonna. I don't want to climb some stairs.
No.
Let alone, I just don't get it.
Too high up.
And like I see people running, and I'm like, what are you doing? What are you trying to win?
Did you know you could be watching Netflix right now? But no, you're jogging.
You're jogging and eating kale. It just sounds horrible. I'd just rather die earlier than I guess I'm supposed to.
YOLO.
Right? What am I sticking around for? So I can be old and poop my pants and not know who I am and the Earth's dying and have to Mad Max it? No, thank you.
No, thank you.
I'm out. 65's fine. Just snuff me out.
Wow, that's pretty early, isn't it?
Yeah, it's before shit's gonna get real bad.
Yeah, my problem is I know I'm sturdy.
You are. I am, Tim, like a cockroach. Hard to smush.
Yep.
Things have. I've been.
I also don't
nearly,
drink.
No, we don't drink anything.
No, don't do it. Ages you.
Does. It's not good. I mean, do mushrooms about it. That's my advice.
I partake in that.
I've done enough hallucinogens that I don't ever need to do anymore. You know, I think that's why I don't suffer from severe depression anymore. Is in my youth, I did all them hallucinogens.
Right. Yeah.
You know, it ended my spree with drinking, too.
Do drugs, kids. What?
Well, I drank in my teens and like early 20s, but after that stint with all the hallucinogens I did, I never touched alcohol really after that.
Yeah.
I just had no desire to.
Yeah.
I'm raw dogging this shit.
Ugh. I mean, we can smoke weed about it.
Does that even count?
Some people can. I don't know.
Well, I'm sober 99% of the time, except Betty by time, so I don't have seizures in my sleep and die.
Right.
Yeah.
It's medical.
Yeah, but I just wanted to say I'm sorry for the lack of and that's the tea and special episodes, but we will get them to you come hell or high water before this month is up.
Yeah, we know you're devoted tea bags.
We do know that. We appreciate you.
We super appreciate.
You guys want to hear something weird though?
I wanna hear it, yeah.
So a Merris Monday from July 25th was the Mad Mike Markham time traveler bullshit story.
Yeah.
The con artist guy.
I kind of remember that story. I sometimes forget, but...
Yeah. For some reason today, it's been downloaded over 100 times.
Maybe it's just one guy who's super into it.
I don't think so. That doesn't... But I just know somewhere on some weird forum, somebody linked our episode.
We looked at Reddit. It wasn't
not
that.
on Reddit. It's just weird. It's just weird.
Yeah.
I mean, when you Google it, it's like the first thing that pops up.
Well, maybe, I don't know. It must have gotten shout out somewhere.
It got shouted out, and I wish I could, know, but I'll never know, so now it's a terrible mystery.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're going to do... Willow's got a Patreon episode coming up, and then I'm doing another one, and I don't know what it'll be, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
This was a good one.
Yeah, I was into this one. There was a lot of good ghost stories I was about.
I thought so, yeah. But anyway, we'll see you guys next time. Good night.
Bye.
Find us on your social media platform of choice. Linktree/Cruelty has all of the links. Check out our Patreon for exclusive episodes, merch, ad-free episodes, live ghost hunts, and much more. Please be sure to subscribe. New episodes are uploaded weekly. Thank you so much. See you next time. Music and production by Willie V.